I've been thinking about CSGO quite a bit recently, mostly because of the recent major final match between Na'Vi and G2. To set the scene a bit, this match was years in the making. Two teams who both had one of the best players in the entire game on their team. It was a meeting of two titans in the sphere of competitive CS, Nico versus Simple, both of which had been chasing their first major victory for years before this. A bit of a spoiler, but Na'Vi won against G2, 0-2, and went through the major without losing a single map. Even though it was a bit of a steamroll, G2 fought hard and gave us one of the greatest matches of Counter-Strike I've ever seen in their last match on Nuke. This whole major, and mostly that last match, got me to pick up CSGO again and play it a bit. And while doing so, I remembered not only what I loved about the game, but also what I absolutely despised. On one hand, CSGO is the single greatest competitive game I've ever played. The execution of the weapons, economy, time limit, and team dynamic in each game fill me with a sense of excitement and get my heart racing like no other. The fact that every single round theoretically isn't over until the game says the round is over is absolutely enthralling. To compare what I mean, in a game like Overwatch, with just how important working together with your team is, the character you play is physically incapable of pulling off a 1v6 to save your team from a loss. 6 people, 2 of them being healers, deal just too much damage for some hamster to try and deal with. In CSGO, however, if you're lucky and the enemy team makes a mistake and leaves an opening in their defenses, and for lack of a better explanation, if you're just better, you can clutch a 1v5. Don't get me wrong, it's hard, but it's possible. And it creates movie-like moments that can manage to fill you with the same feeling, even if you're not the one making the plays. On the other hand, CSGO is one of the most infuriatingly stupid games I've ever played in my life. With hitboxes that on rare occasions decide to just not work, playing matchmaking and being reminded that most of my teammates blow hot garbage at this game, dealing with that one dude who shows up in every game I play that is so cracked out of his mind that he's either cheating or he's smurfing or like face it 10 or something. Whatever the fuck this is, like, bro, dealing with some dude on my team who's from like Argentina that randomly decided to connect to a game hosted in the middle of the United States. The list goes on. It's this dichotomy, yes, that's a word I had to look up, that made me realize my entire CSGO career exists entirely on a cycle. Like one of those meme images of the X cycle where people make fun of something that happens in a circular fashion over and over again. I'll go ahead and begin with where I'm currently at in the cycle. Step 1, I'm taking a break. During this period, I've completely stopped playing CSGO, but what happens is that I get a little bit nostalgic and decide to watch content related to the game, be it a video about 2014 Kenny S, an extremely well done montage, or even a grand final match in a major. This content will remind me of just how good CSGO is, and inevitably, I'll decide that I want to get back into the game. This brings us directly into step 2. I play CSGO again. I grind out the game, aim train, screw with my crosshair a bit, maybe change my view model, get some wins, rank up back into Master Guardian. Honestly, it's just the usual. It's during this time though that I remember everything about the game that I loved. The feeling of being in a clutch situation, hitting insane shots, the feeling of ranking up, the unknown of if I'm going to D-rank after a loss or not. All of these are crucial things that lift CSGO from just being a game to being an experience. Step 3, I remember why I hated CSGO. Be it a few bad games in a row, the cryptic ranking system not working in my favor, or even just general burnout, I start to remember exactly what drove me away from the game, which then leads directly into step 4. I stop playing CSGO. I move on to a different game, maybe play some Minecraft, I don't know. The time passes, and eventually I loop. Also, I should say now that all of my opinions come from a guy who's like okay at the game. I'm Gold Nova 1 currently, which I know sounds bad, but I used to be MGE back when I was like actually better at the game. To answer 2 questions, am I good at the game? No, I absolutely fucking blow. Am I bad at the game? Maybe. My true skill lies somewhere between these 2 answers. This all brings me back to what I said just a paragraph ago, in that CSGO, for me at least, is no longer just a game. It is instead an experience. When someone asks me to get on CSGO, they're not asking me to just hop on a game. They're asking me to strap myself in for what might be an hour-long experience full of wild ups and downs depending on my teammates, myself, and how good the enemy team is at the game. Usually in these videos, I would try and talk about things I don't like about the game, and then suggest fixes for them, and hopefully engage a discussion between me and my comment section, both for interaction and video boosting reasons, but also because I actually do care about discussion and I like reading comments from people who have opinions about the same topic I do. But CSGO's experience is so fine-tuned that any sort of opinion on the state of the game requires a deep dive of at least like 30 to 40 matches before I could form a proper opinion. And considering I'm only just getting lightly back into the game, mostly because of the major, as I mentioned earlier, I couldn't even begin to get into the theory that goes behind suggesting or thinking of a change to the current landscape of the competitive game. So then, if this isn't a video about what I want to change about CSGO, or a video about what I would like out of CSGO to enjoy it, what's the point of me writing out 1,145 words for this video? And honestly, I'm not even really sure. You might ask how I enjoy this game despite hating so many things about it, taking breaks from it constantly, and coming so fucking close to uninstalling it, only to stop when I realized that would mean that he wins. Well, the secret is, I don't actually hate any of those aspects of the game, nor do I actually hate the game in any way. I just say I hate the game because it's really fun to do so. If I'm being honest, I love that this game infuriates the ever-living shit out of me. I crave getting unreasonably angry for no reason at this game. Everything I talked about in this entire video has really turned out to be an excuse to gush over just how much I love the CSGO experience. Annoying bits and all. It's what makes CSGO, well, CSGO, if you understand me. Is it really a comp match if my teammates aren't somehow winning rounds despite pulling some of the stupidest fucking strategies I've ever seen in my life?
Cal, why are you flashing? He's me.
Cal, you get the flash, you got the flash.
Oh my god! I don't think so. It's honestly what this game excels at. It's so insanely enjoyable from every single angle you look at it. It's a blast to play, take a break from, win, lose, watch, praise, and hate on. I don't know how long I'll stick to the cycle or if I'll ever truly uninstall CSGO one day, but I hope that when I finally do quit the game, something better has come out. Honestly, I imagine my explanation for still liking CSGO is the only reason League of Legends has like any players at all still. I wouldn't know though, I don't play it. What I do know is that no matter how sick I may get of CSGO's cycle, I'd rather rip out my fucking teeth than play a single game of Valorant ever again. That game actually sucks.